So let's look at this. Sam George is in deep trouble. Few weeks ago, I think ending of last month, and as Sam George just said, the data prices in Ghana, no, one of the main campaign promises to lower the cost of data, no. He being the Minister of Communications is actually pushed for that. Into many telcos, they'll be reducing it. There will be 15 increase in data. In the data. Okay. So ABR first, 350 megabytes for 516 cities. That's basically, that basically will mean you should be getting somewhere around 400 a year gigabytes for 516 cities. But then immediately after this was a year affected, no, Ghana first started this is a huge scam. I think this a year 15% data, no, it only applied on the data price at 399 or 400 cedis. Okay. Into one more music stable net, one more broadband, it doesn't apply. Okay. And according to the telcos, no, yes, almost started from there when they are okay and they'll increase. Which means nothing really was done. No problem. 499 you're managing is 3999 for managing is for let's say 400 gig or whatever it is. And also yes, you saw indeed 2 days. Now, the brony friend data capping. What you say? It is all you'll be used to a year internet, internet easy broadband there. Who you swear do a certain place and a certain pointer. If it be a year trotting. Okay. The Canada first me used to self line no. Not your package be every day be 25 gigabytes. Okay. So after 25 gigabytes, and sound that your internet will throttle. Okay. In the say load there never take it 10 minutes. It say never take it 20 minutes. If any internet throttle and it can down a bit down really slowly. Very slow. So they cap the data, put at a certain caps after this level, it shouldn't go up. It's for Kase, Sana MTN have capped the data and MTN is throttling the data to Twa and China Sam. Well, Sam George have responded to this. In some of the other maybe bring could team some George to bar to us. Okay.
Yeah, just to pass the exam. How are we going to mitigate these potential risks?
Well, I think that's part of what our national AI strategy is going to develop, and that's why we've brought about this ministerial bootcamp with focal persons. So the typical example you gave of the Ministry of Education and the fact that students are using AI, there is AI that detects AI. And so what we need to do is put at the disposal of our universities and lecturers the tools that will be able to identify that this content that has been submitted as a project work is AI generated. Because you see, that's what people fail to realize, that with artificial intelligence, there's what we call metadata. And it's not just artificial intelligence. Every digital footprint, everything you do digitally has a footprint. There's metadata that you can determine. That's how come when you want to deal with misinformation, for example, that's spread on WhatsApp, you can actually work with the platform operators to see who was the first person to post that content. Because the first person to post the content, there's a metadata of the device from which it came. So there's technology there. We just need to put it at the disposal of the various ministries. I was just talking with the gentleman from Ministry of Health and Foreign Affairs, and saying that even in our visa processing, we need to begin to use artificial intelligence in many of our embassies to determine the profile, to run profiles of people who are coming into the country. Ghana is an oasis of peace. We must be careful of who's coming into our country. And you can determine all of this out of people's social media handle. And that's why right now, in many of the European countries and the United States, when you're applying for a visa, they ask you to attach your social media handles. Nobody's going to sit down and physically go to your handles, but AI will be able to read and see whether you're fit for purpose to come into the country. Or in the health sector, I was just talking to them about what Rwanda has been able to do with their health intelligence center to be able to predict and run analytics on healthcare. So there are challenges, but that's why we're here to talk about the ethical and responsible use of AI and ensuring that AI is a force for good and not a force for bad.
Now we have
Anunti senia yate ewo ye honorable ye minister for communication no yate fi nenum no or patch say AI a very important tool like say eboa a lot. But bibia no ye won advantages, ye were disadvantages, ye were pros, ye were cons. I don't know what say omo organize sa program and a boot camp to be able to have in-depth knowledge on how to navigate things with the ministries no kwa enye data ni de wa ba be kan say hu hia pa say data no be hwe na wa ba be reply with that particular issue ayedi edi kan no na eno no ade ba ko Ghana fo eni edi etire pa because ade a youth no sisi ano to me say most people, everybody is on their phone like 24/7 and until idea about consua motivating for to vote for the sitting government according to this particular story about Betojano and until video no honum we will look for it and then attach it to this particular story for you to get a proper understanding of it. But when so a part of it are all kind about AI or patches AI tool able to me a use in a right way able to me aboapa.
Yeah, so that's exactly what is really going on. As we are trying to say, yes, that particular Sema Sam George Eka, you know, but then we are also trying very much with me and Sema Sam George Eka in that particular regard about the data price. But then let's talk about this data as they prepare that particular video. What are some of the concerns Ghana for Emma about this whole data thing? Yes, so to China.
Say data nankasa no beginning now to I say unlimited bundle.
You unlimited.
You unlimited.
Like a time bound.
Okay.
It be a 30 days. If you are when you swipe a son, say 2 types of data a year.
Packages but nkofo bebre na adwin mo no say auto unlimited bundle and I say auto bundle with the promises buy forward no purchase says see and say you reducing it to a certain level as any kind 15% be abemo na they are expecting say be as na me to be a 10 CDs data na me use no for 2 days and then me to 10 CDs data I should be able to use it for 3 days na me say improvements be then abemo but still na nkofo complaining say they are not really seeing that in their data usage packages no and no nkofo can say wait there fakra madam bia honorable Sam George any nkofo any just omo dey bring nkofo any so keke say they can do something about it almost say they can communicate with the telcos to do something about it to ensure say people get the value for their money. Say these monies are something that goes into the pocket of the telcos now. Say to me a regulating year it could benefit all of us, not only the telecommunication companies, but the individuals who use it would also be able to benefit from it. To say my to data may use when we say ampa where they may use so and yes say for party of course obia pe bibi and I say a free Ghana for penny may free, but this time around we are paying for it no more can say omutia kana wa shebo say reduction bebemono. That is what they want to see it being reflected whilst they use it. And yes, yebeka edia to jakeke and I say ya throw their to paper so and I say ya throw their to social media handles so to say X say we have reduced it and then in reality no that is not the case. And on nkofo say they want to really feel the impact of the reduction in their usage and more scrolling through social media handles every day no and uncomfortable. Is
it for the basic more updates as all of these various events unfold?